Here we go with a different what if because I tried this one. It stopped at 2 minutes. So I retried this one. And it didn't work because it stopped at the 3 minute, I think 42-second mark. So, third time's the charm for this one, for the third what if of the day. What if Naruto was Tom Oliver's reincarnation? How this goes is alternate timeline bullshits. You have evil Green Ranger Tommy who had killed and absorbed the Rangers and Rita Repulsa's power into himself, making the Dragon Zord and the Green Dragon spirit within Tommy Oliver be much more potent and powerful. In an alternate timeline where this White Ranger Tommy actually was chosen naturally because of his goodness, you know, rather than permanently strip the powers of the other Rangers, he had decided to gain help from other alternate timelines of Tommy. He found two other ones. An older one who seemingly gained the power of the black dinosaur, and another one who gained power from a red Zeo crystal. He didn't know what that means. And then something called a red turbo ranger. He didn't really have time to ask too much questions, but they each offer him some power, a fragment, just a little bit more to boost him. So with the added benefit of the other Mighty Morphin Rangers giving Tommy Oliver enough power to fight off his evil counterpart, the two actually end up dealing a fatal blow, with their spirit blades crossing each other's hearts. Weirdly enough, both of them trying to steal one another's power. This caused a strange reaction where the tiger and the dragon are now kind of bonded to one another. And Tommy Oliver is kind of like the glue a yin-yang has formed. Since Tommy Oliver was good and evil, he had absorbed, good within him and borrowed power from other good Tommy Olivers, and then there was another version that stole power and would kill for more. Now the two spirits fuse, combine. Anyway, back to the what if as, the death with two Tommy Olivers bonding their souls with a power struggle. I'm gonna say just called a riff. The tiger and the dragon, they drag Tommy Oliver's spirit as we cut to, Minato making one difference here, and he seals the full fox within Naruto, and he would die, and so would Kushina. However, this toll would be too much, and baby Naruto would start to fade. Kurama would sense this and could do nothing. However, the spirits of the white tiger and the green dragon would soon fall and embed itself, using the remaining spirit of Tommy Oliver, its two spirits, and Naruto's baby spirit, kind of having an amalgamation. Re-cleansing both sides of Tommy Oliver using Naruto's soul. Fusing the two, giving them a blank slate. Naruto's memories of both timelines, and by extension, the separate timelines of, Dino Thunder, Turbo Rangers, and other shit. All that will come in due time. But since Naruto has the full Nine Tails within him, good shit for him. But Minato did not know that this would happen. Of course, Kurama would also sense that Naruto is now different. He senses that there's definitely something inside of here that's not normal. Eventually, slowly but surely, two male figures, they look similar to one another, but now they have distinct features. One with a more green skin pigmentation, and one more with a white furry skin pigmentation. The green one's scaly. I forgot to mention scaly. You would consider these a human form of the tiger and human spirits that kind of look like a version of Tommy Oliver. One like a white tiger, human hybrid and one like a green dragon Tommy Oliver hybrid. So, yes, they would see Kurama. Kurama would ask who the fuck they are. They'd just say, they're Tommy. And now so is this kid. So who is this kid? Kurama would growl and say the brat's name is Naruto. So the two look at each other, shrug their shoulders, and say, I guess now we're Naruto. Kurama would tell them to rip this seal off, but they would walk away, leaving him alone, doing absolutely nothing to Kurama. Kurama would be pissed, but at the same time, he senses power different but similar to something he has. They have power adjacent to chakra that will eventually merge into Naruto's and give him, the abilities with chakra. So don't worry too much. Now, here's where things become different. When Naruto is 4 and people start picking on him, he would ask Hiruzen if he could, at least have some training in swordsmanship, something. Hiruzen would be like, why? Defend myself. If I have a sword, maybe I wouldn't get picked on as much, since you ain't doing dick. Hiruzen would just be like, okay, whatever, shut up, here, go. Naruto would actually do two things. He would fight with a dagger, right-handed reverse grip. So he would do lots of swinging and kicking motions, and then he would use his left hand to fight, basic. Of course, this is not his true sword style. You see, if he were to switch, do reverse grip where the blade goes downward, not towards his thumb, but, gripping, I guess you could say, with the blade pointing down from his hand, like from his pinky, downward from that angle, and then holding the white blade, the longer sword, like an actual normal sword, rather than reverse gripping it. That is more or less his true swordsman-esque abilities. Now, he would just, it'd be kind of weird. On his hip, he would carry the small green dagger, and then a white long blade strapped to his hip. Which, people are just like, okay, so he uses two swords. He can't be that good. Well, no. They would actually not mess with Naruto due to Naruto training one day. Or he would use his white saber, and he would actually focus. He feels something close being pulled towards him. Something, well, no, not pulled towards him, but drawn out of him. As, for a slight moment, the air got this weird tension. As the blade started to radiate this white energy, a white chakra, if you will. And then black stripes started to form around it. Naruto would lift up the blade, as then he'd say, Tiger Claw! And swing down. With this one swinging motion, 5 slash marks would appear on this tree, completely cutting it down the middle, well, in 5 separate segments. No Leaf Village person has messed with Naruto since that has spread. Because, well, clearly he could do those repeatedly because, the blade was still glowing. Naruto would see it, and he would smile. He would take out the green blade, where he would focus something similar. And, well, this is where things get different. See, the green energy that radiates from his dagger, it was quite strange, for you see, Naruto, he would actually whistle, rather than blow into the dagger like it's a, flute that sounds like a trumpet synthesizer. I hold nothing against the green dagger. Anyway, as he would whistle while he would hold this. His movements when he swings and goes with his green dragon blade no, green dagger blade, is strange. It's very fluid, it's almost serpent-like, but no. His whole body, it swirls similar to a river going downstream. However, when he gets close, he would launch one rising slash motion. But through this one motion, it would seem as if a claw would go upward, a slash of 3, if you will. Unfortunately, 3, not rather than 5. But Naruto would, I would say, dragon uppercut every single time. People would be, paranoid and terrified of what Naruto could do. So they wouldn't really mess with him. Of course, there'd be one person who had watched Naruto a little bit more keenly, and that would be Itachi Uchiha. Because the night he leaves for the Uchiha massacre and joins the Akatsuki, he would know that Naruto, he pretty decent with the swordsmanship. So, one thing that he does do is that he tells the Akatsuki that Naruto sucks at everything he do. He pretty much lies, saying that Naruto is the canon Naruto that we know of the dead last. But here in this timeline, Naruto is not. Naruto studies more. He's actually more well-educated, more mature, seemingly. It's really weird. It's as if Naruto has heightened intelligence. He's matured faster. Hiruzen thought at first it was because of all the mistreatment of the village, but no, it was just like Naruto understood. Yeah, they don't know what I got. They don't know about. He would put his hand on his stomach, as Hiruzen's eyes would widen, as Naruto saying, "Yeah." After a while, you kind of notice the presence. Hiruzen would, nervously ask, "Does he talk to you?" Kinda. Okay. Anyway, here's where things get kind of strange. Naruto would admit to Hiruzen, while he is tempted to use the fox power, he's first wanting to bring out his other two beast spirits. Hiruzen would look at him very weirdly. "What do you mean, Naruto? What do you mean other beast spirits?" Naruto would then say he feels, he would put a hand over his chest, clench a fist over it, kind of like one of those, I'm resolving myself scenes in anime, where Naruto would say he just feels that there's more power within him, something that he's barely scratching the surface that isn't necessarily Kurama, something that's already there within him that, he thinks before Kurama, he should learn how to control his own power, no? Hiruzen eyes, he's skeptical, but it's. Of course, soon this would lead Naruto to be trained under one person in particular who's very decent with swordsman or bladesman techniques, and that would be Asuma Sarutobi, due to the connection of Lord Third. Naruto would also benefit because of his wind chakra affinity, which they would actually find out. However, due to some extra added benefit, Naruto also has fire and lightning. But there's some twists to this. Naruto's fire, it has this distinctive, white flame every single time. Naruto could launch a fireball jutsu, but rather than a massive fireball, it would be smaller and white. A little white flaming fireball. Of course, it wouldn't seem like much, but it's because it's so condensed and powered down. It's a supercharged little fireball. It might seem like a small ember attack, but really, it's like a fire blast once it hits with Pokemon damage stats. Just for you guys to get what I mean with Naruto's, unique fire style. But here's the thing. Naruto doesn't really suffer from chakra exhaustion. Huh. Just natural white flames, Naruto? I guess. Okay then. But his lightning. What about his lightning? Green lightning, because I thought that'd be entertaining. So yes, Naruto's lightning style gives him green electricity that will cackle and radiate throughout his whole body. This is, of course, the green dragon and the white tiger, giving him an extra affinity of power that he didn't know he had. Kurama is pissed because he's blaming, he sees that these two, they kind of barged in as this kid was dying. Yeah, he's technically here because they kind of saved the brat, but he doesn't know why they saved the brat. But because they are here, the brat can't Kurama can't access the brat. And if he can't do that, how can he get his freedom? He can't manipulate the kid. So, of course, Kurama's kind of bittersweet about this. But he notices that Naruto is getting strong really fast. Asuma would also notice that Naruto has very high amounts of chakra. So rather than the basic clone jutsu, he would ultimately have to teach him the shadow clone jutsu, which Naruto takes a step further to learn the lightning shadow clone, a fire shadow clone, and a wind-based shadow clone. Naruto would actually learn 2 simple wind techniques, being Gale Palm, doesn't require too much chakra, and then Air Bullet. Of course, from his Firestar Fireball Jutsu, he would also focus into, slowly exhaling or breathing out flame on a kunai, or his white saber blade. It would be coated with flames, and he would fight like that. Green Lightning, of course, Shock Palm. And one simple fun one is Thunder Shock. Naruto would actually have to get really close with this after he weaves just 2 simple hand signs. The bird and horse. He would then rush in really close, stick out his thumbs, that's all he would need. He would tuck in his fingers, and think of Law's Counter Shock, but Thunder Shock rather than Counter Shock. And a green spark would cackle between Naruto's thumbs, really small one, before a huge effect of a thunderbolt crashing and electrocuting the target would affect them. Really strange. It's really fast too, especially because Naruto, he would ultimately take up training with weights. Now, this would not be Asuma's idea. This would be something Naruto would develop because he saw Guy Sensei fighting Kakashi, and, well, he would see Lee. Well, in this one, I'm just gonna have Guy take an early, mentorship to him, since rather than just, see Lee struggle and, just hope for Lee to do it, he'd actually take initiative to train Lee similar to how his father trained himself. So, yeah. Ow, I just popped my elbow. Anyway, back to the what if. You see, Naruto, though his weights aren't to the insane amount of Lee, we're thinking like simple 50-pound weights on his legs. Nothing too fancy. Something basic for a normal ninja child, if you will. I don't know if that makes it any better. But no, you would have Naruto be trained like every now and then, slowly progressing the weights. By the time we get to the Ninja Academy, Naruto would have the estimated weights on his legs of each roughly 800 pounds. Now, does that mean he only has weights on his legs? I'll have to watch later because I'm recording. Sorry, my guy. Oof. Anyway, Naruto, he would not be at the top of the academy for one sole reason. He naps a lot in class. So he doesn't really get the best, scores in class. But testing-wise, jutsu, combat, he good. But he's still really smart. That's the thing. He doesn't want to bother to learn this world's history since he kind of has history lessons in his own dreams every now and then. So, yeah. One thing that Naruto was able to do, due to a quick, daydream of the Black Dino Ranger turning invisible for the first time after bonding with his Dino Gem, Naruto would start to think about this, an invisibility jutsu. He would learn it. He would refine it. He had perfected it, and thus he now has invisibility where he doesn't actually need to weave a hand sign. Just a simple flex of chakra throughout his body, and Naruto becomes invisible. Naruto would also learn about a special summoning contracts that he feels like he should have. He would go to Hiruzen and ask for, if they're not on the leaf, where could he get them? Hiruzen would wonder why these two animals in particular, because Naruto is asking for a dragon and a white tiger contract. Which he's saying, we don't know if they even exist, Naruto. They don't exist in the hidden leaf, but, you're welcome to research, so Naruto would. As much as I would like to have Naruto's to have friends in this, I'm gonna say no. Only because he focused on his training. He knew that eventually he will get teammates. It's inevitable. But he decides to refine his own skills and then work on the whole social skills. The whole being teammates with somebody. He wants to make sure that if he's going out into this shinobi world, he should at least be prepared. He already has some strange combat experience through just muscle memory alone. We now cut to people doing their tests, Naruto passing his shadow clones. Written tests, Naruto would barely pass, so he would be tied for first. This has never happened before. Due to Naruto's overall, impressive grades, test scores around the board, opposed to, Sasuke's natural higher academics. It was just, alright then, we're gonna split it into a Rookie of the Year. Naruto didn't care. Sasuke was pissed. Who would have seen that coming? However, this is where things change. Naruto, being kind of nonchalant about it, would actually just say, if you want, just give Sasuke the title. He seems more mad about sharing it. I don't really care. Naruto would proceed to walk off. He walks away with his headband. He's going to Hiruzen and Asuma. He's going to show them that he passed. Get a good pat on the head. Praise a little bit. When, of course, we would have somebody go up to Naruto and ask them, what is it that you wanted? What do you mean? You asked Hiruzen for something, right? And he told you that they weren't in the Leaf Village. But what if I told you I knew where they were? What do you mean? You're looking for the White Tiger contract and the Green Dragon, specifically, right? How do you know about this? I know many things, my boy. As he would pet Naruto on the shoulder, Naruto would look at this man with red hair and this weird purple ripple eye. As he would look at him, and he'd ask, who is he? This man would say, a friend. He knows his godfather, actually. He's his he's his godfather's student. So he came here to get him. He knows that he has this special power that, he could help find. I just passed my ninja exam. Yes. As then he would lift up his headband and he would show a Rain one. He would say how his father had trained, not his father, his godfather, he would then say Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, had trained him, and he's now going to return the same. Think of it just as training on the side. What do you mean? You would still have your Konoha sensei. You still have Asuma, you would still be part of the Hidden Leaf. I'm not gonna take you away permanently, no. Just on the weekends and at night. You'll come to this training site. He would hand him a slip of paper to which training grounds it would be. It's training ground 13. As, he tells him, and there they would train. Naruto would nod, leave. Things go relatively well. Asuma would actually give Naruto a special, new green dagger. It is actually embroidered with a golden dragon on one side, and then on the other side would have the golden dragon claw. Similar to the symbol in the yin yang, if you will. Naruto would actually have a slight tear in his eye from this. But, oh wait, there's more. As Konohamaru. As in this one, you could kind of guess that the Sarutobi clan kind of inadvertently adopted Naruto, so Naruto is low-key the fam. But Konohamaru, he comes up as he's saying him and Grandpa decided to get this one special for Naruto. Naruto would, open the box and see a amazing sword. It is a white blade with some black on the outlines. There are special patterns along the edges. There are slight holes within the blade, which, Konohamaru thought it was weird until Hiruzen would say, it's actually to make the swinging faster, my boy. As, although there were holes in it, you could still see that it would be like a striped pattern throughout the blade. I guess you could say a white tiger, black striped pattern blade. He would look at the hilt and he would see the body of a tiger as the hilt. Its tail would wrap around the guard. Its claws and paws would, be tucked in tightly to almost fit the hand as it would grip the human fingers very well. Almost as if it was holding your hand. Really weird. But then, what Naruto loved the most was the fact at the very base of the sword, the very butt, if you will, was the head of a white tiger, roaring, with glowing red eyes. Naruto would look at it and smile as, now he really couldn't hold back the fact that he cried. Hey, I'm gonna watch that soon. I do like that one. Port 11. Bro, that surprised me with the twist that, it's actually Naruto and Sasuke from the future. Spoiler alerts if you guys didn't see it. Sorry. Go watch Anime King. Anyway, Naruto would actually, he would go and meet Nagato. Nagato would be there with Konan as, the two would then cause this weird paper tunnel to form around the two, swirling around, as within the vortex, seals and, little paper tags would form around, creating a slight door. The kanjis would all glow, as then the paper vortex disperses, as now they're in the Hidden Rain Village. Due to seeing, some specialty bullshit, Konan and Nagato had developed a teleportation jutsu. Mostly using the Rinnegan chakra with Konan's paper. It was easy. So, I digress. As Naruto would spend the next month, he would still be with Team 7, but this month of training with them would mean nothing to him, as he would be exhausted from training with Nagato and Conan online, and they do know that he is the Nine Tails. But there is a actual reason that they're training him. You see, Yahiko is still alive, and he is the one who killed Hanzo, as he did become, the leader of the Akatsuki. Conan and Nagato are not, and they want to, bring peace to this world. They want Naruto to hopefully save Yahiko. Now I guess you're wondering, why would they want Naruto to save Yahiko? Well, Yahiko turned out to be a Namikaze. What? No, you're not doing this. Yes, I am. Yahiko turned out to be Minato's brother. So this is Naruto's uncle that they want him to save. But not just that. For you see, Nagato admits that he's an Uzumaki. He's technically Naruto's cousin. He was Kushina's cousin too. So, hey, I might not be as close as you and Yahiko technically are, but he is my best friend. You and me are technically cousins. He is your uncle. I feel like there's some grounds. Naruto would look at Conan, as Conan would place a hand over her belly, as then she's saying, and soon you'll have a new cousin. Naruto's eyes would widen as, she's pregnant with the child of Conan and Yahiko. Because why not? This would be Naruto's little baby cousin. I thought it would be nice to add it, because there is also a manga series where, not manga series, but comic book series where Tommy Oliver got the Green Ranger coin stolen, the Green Ranger power coin stolen from him by Shredder, because one of his cousins turned out to be, working for the Foot Clan, which, I kind of ran it parallel to, hey, well, your uncle, he's part of the Akatsuki. Ah, shit, man, you fucking with me, right? Nope. Fine, I'll do it. Continuing on, as, they would train together, they would have their bonding moments, but Naruto with Team 7. Bell test. Naruto wouldn't struggle to catch the bells. Kakashi would, kind of realize that Asuma trained Naruto well. Asuma, he would kind of enjoy the fact that Kakashi had to use the Sharingan in order to keep up with Naruto. That's his speed training right there at the beginning of the bell test. Of course, Asuma, once he got his own team of Ino Shikacho, he couldn't really train Naruto. Naruto kind of trained on his own, because Kakashi, he told Naruto, since you're so more advanced than your other two teammates, I'm gonna have to kind of focus on them. You good if you train your own? Yeah, works by me. He would have his two blades with him. Now, I do want to say that Naruto's outfit is a lot more different than his orange jumpsuit. He would wear green pants and a white jacket with a green t-shirt underneath. Jacket always be open. He's, he got that Kid Goku body. No, Teenage Goku. The one at the Tenkai Budo the World Martial Arts Tournament, when he fought against King Piccolo. That's Naruto's current body at the age of 12. Because, plot. Here's where things get kind of different. Since Naruto never had a thing for Sakura, she never really got annoyed that Naruto was there, but during one day, when Naruto had finally catched the cat, and he would see Sakura panting, the most. No, Sasuke, he okay, he good. He composed, but he kind of tired too. He's just not showing it. Naruto would look at Sakura and ask, do you not train? Sakura would take offense to it. She's saying she's on a diet, don't judge her. As Naruto's just like, didn't say that, anything about your weight. I just asked, do you train? She's saying, I can't do too much strenuous training because I'm on a diet. Naruto's just like, if you train a lot, you work out all the calories. Your body grows, and you become stronger. Sakura's just like, but. Then he points out one key thing. He's saying, right now, Ino is probably being trained by Asuma. I was trained by Asuma. Ino would probably beat you in a fight. And if you lose to Ino in front of Sasuke, he's whispering to her at this point, you'll never come back from that. As boom, Sakura gets ignited with a fire, so she does demand Kakashi to train him more thoroughly, which Kakashi just, scowls at Naruto, because with Sasuke, it was easy. He could train him. He would show him about the Sharingan and tell him about Obito. With Sakura, Shadow Clone with a book who could read the make-out novel series for him over and over again while he one-handedly takes care of Sakura. But now, the clone actually has to put in effort, because Sakura is very tryhard right now. Which, eventually Kakashi's just like, Naruto, why? Because I want better missions. So, the Land of Waves arc. Demon Brothers. Sakura, don't freeze. She takes the stance easily to grab Tazuna, and I do mean she grabs him, and jumps into the trees. Naruto and Sasuke would actually stop the chains before they could catch Kakashi. Kakashi would body flicker away. Sasuke would use his wild flame dance to incapacitate one of the demon brothers, while Naruto would pull back his green dragon dagger, breathe in, as green electricity would flow off of the blade, as then he'd sing Electric Dragon Lance, as he would dive in forward, thrusting his arm, having his green dagger electrocute all over, not electrocute, but electricity cackle over his body, electrocuting, there we go, the other demon brother before he even gets impaled. He's paralyzed, stunned, shocked, and then gets stabbed. Which only worsens because the electricity now courses inside of his own bloodstream, which was much, much more painful than he thought could have been. Naruto would pull out his blade as the demon brother falls dead. The other one unconscious, and they get, the information about Tazuna. They even stitch out about how Zabuza would be coming. And then how the guy's saying he's going to get revenge for Naruto killing his brother. Sasuke was just like, interesting, as he would slit the man's throat, letting the man fall dead, unconscious, onto the ground. Sasuke kind of cold on this one. But I digress, as, he not being a bitch on this one. Naruto killed his opponent, no mercy. Sasuke can do it too, I guess. Anyway, back to the what if, as now we have when Zabuza would show up, Kakashi ready for it, Naruto ready for it. Sasuke and Sakura are actually tasked with the two going forward and taking Tazuna, to the bridge builder. Now, in case you're wondering why, Naruto, who's already stronger than Sasuke and Sakura, would actually back up Kakashi and actually tell Zabuza he's here, he'll step out of the fight, as then he would point all the way back, with gesturing behind him, with his thumb, of course. As long as your shinobi stays back in the fight, I won't interfere either. Zabuza would be like, you could sense Haku? Naruto would then disappear, reappear right behind Haku. Haku turns around. Before he could react, Naruto would grab his face, mask and all, grip it, disappear. and slam right into the earth. Haku face first. He gave him that Aizen treatment, like when Ichigo came out of the, what was it called? I can't remember the Japanese name. The spirit train, where the spirit train goes. As, yeah, Ichigo's on hyperbolic time chamber-esque thing. No, he would grab his face, take him away, and then slam him into the ground. Mask broken, Haku would struggle to get up. Blood coming out of his mouth as he would lift up his head to see Zabuza and Kakashi duking it out. Naruto sitting right next to him as he offers him some tea. Haku's confused as fuck on why Naruto would do such a thing. He would look around and he couldn't see where the other two were. Or the bridge builder. Naruto would say, yeah, they left. So, if you want to fight, you will fight me. But, I will say this. If you try and go for Kakashi because Zabuza's weakened, you leave yours back open for me to take you down. Or, you forsake Zabuza because then you can't make sure I don't take him out. As Haku's just like, fuck, he got me on this one. So, we now have a very similar match out going in play with when Zabuza would capture Kakashi with the water prison jutsu. Zabuza thinks he's won. That is until Kakashi just dispersed into pure electricity, electrocuting Zabuza. And since his hand was in water, this ain't gonna feel nice. So, yes, that happens. Kakashi would then kick Zabuza up in the air, using a similar stance to the primary Lotus. Zabuza would get launched up into the air. He would weave some extra hand signs as Naruto, he looks at Haku. As he shakes his head, don't do it. As Kakashi says, water style, water shark bomb jutsu. As, yeah, he doing this one. As two giant water sharks would jump out of the water, collide with Zabuza, exploding. He falls down, he's bleeding, he's coughing up blood. Haku yells, Master Zabuza! Naruto would have his white tiger blade at Haku's throat before he could even move. Haku just sees his master as, Kakashi, he stands before Zabuza. Zabuza saying, do it, kill me, finish me. And nah. I kind of like having the idea of you owing me your life, Zabuza. Zabuza scowls at Kakashi. As then, Kakashi saying, calm down, calm down. I got a deal for you. You can call your debt cleared if you kill Gato. I'm pretty sure you won't mind killing the guy who hired you. You can kill his goons, do whatever you want with his money. Just leave some for the bridge builder. Just drop it off at the bridge. We'll be there. We'll be waiting. Zabuza would scowl at Kakashi, but he would nod as him and Haku, they would leave. They would kill Gato. Gato's money gets finessed. Given to the bridge builder. Well, some of it, not all of it. Zabuza still keeps a good chunk of it as, yeah, they live, they escape. Will they come back? Maybe. You see, we now go to Naruto with Inari. Inari would still kind of complain about, you guys don't know about real pain. Naruto would tell him about the Nine Tails attack. How he would tell him how his father died protecting the Leaf Village. His mother died protecting him. That Nine Tails, he doesn't admit where it was sealed within him. He's just saying how the Nine Tails would destroy his whole life because his dad was one of the shinobis that defended the Hidden Leaf. And his mom just gave birth to him. And, Kurama, he was attacking. There were other babies in the hospital that were born that day that didn't make it that day. Naruto just happened to be one of the few that did. He alludes and lies to say there's a few other survivors just to make sure that if, Nari has questions about what happened to the fox. This is when Naruto would just calmly say the fourth Hokage killed it. That's that. Okay. Well, that didn't really end with the two fighting. But Naruto does tell him that things get better now. So he pats him on the head and he just walks away. Naruto, he feels kind of strange. He thinks and he misses Kimberly. He doesn't know why he's missing Kimberly. He longs for his Pink Ranger, if you will. So, during one of his training expeditions, he would inadvertently run into this one girl who had pink crystal style. Oh yes, just hear me out on this. This girl is also a missing ninja. Due to the fact that Yagara, half of Isibu was ripped out of him in a failed extraction attempt and sealed within this girl. This is Gurin, of course. I just made her be the separate, age appropriate for Naruto. But I digress. As Gurin, she runs into Naruto. She's badly beaten. She's tired. As Rain Ninja would show up, Naruto would waste no time before weaving 3 hand signs, taking a deep breath in. As then he spits out fire style, white tiger flare, white tiger fire, white tiger flame bomb, as he spits out a massive white flamed fireball jutsu that shoots out. But this fireball jutsu actually had black ripples of fire going through it. Now, is it like Amaterasu? Is it like Holy Flame? No, it's just really, really fucking hot fire. The color scheme is just cool as fuck. The Hidden Mist Ninjas would, go through some hand signs. Water style, water dome, water wall, water spear, water dragon, But the fire tiger ball evaporates it all. When all the steam and mist clears, Naruto's gone with Gurin. The Mist Ninjas, they're looking around, and all of a sudden, crystal spikes appear from their backs. And one of them, he gets stabbed by a green lightning dagger. The other one feels a burning white flaming sword go right through his throat. As, the Mist Shinobi die, Gurin would look at Naruto and ask him, "Why'd you help me?" Naruto would just shrug his shoulders. As, he casually just walks up to her. Gurin would take a step back, but Naruto was just like, he raises his hands out. He would open the back of his ninja pouch and toss a scroll to her. She would catch it as she's saying as her stomach would rumble. Naruto would then say, "Food." Gurin would then, actually see it says lunch. She would unseal it and open it to find 6 bento boxes. Naruto saying, "Go ahead." She looks at him like, "What the fuck? Why do you have 6? Naruto saying, "I eat a lot. I train a lot. Fireball jutsu like that use a lot of chakra." Gurin would, look at him skeptically, but she would, nonetheless eat with Naruto. She would eat a bento box. Naruto would, tell her, "Take one." She'd say no. Naruto saying, "The only way you cannot take one is if you come with me." Gurin would look at him kind of weirdly, saying, "Why would I go with you?" Naruto saying, "So I can know you're safe." "Why do you want to know I'm safe?" Good question. I don't know that, actually. Naruto would actually place his hand on his chin, my bad, as he actually starts to think, why does he care about this girl? He just met her. He looks at her, he eyes her up and down, as then he's saying, "I mean, you are really pretty." Gurin would blush at this because, well, not many people notice her for her looks. It's more or less they look at her for her bloodline. Gurren would look at Naruto and say, thanks. Your whiskers are kind of cute. As, she blushes when she says this. As Naruto, he would smile. He would actually get closer to Gurren. Gurren would kind of eep as, you know, there's a boy giving her attention and affection, and she's not used to this. As we time skip, Gurren is now back at the house. Naruto is just casually saying, Kakashi, I found a friend. They're like, what the fuck? Gurren shows up. She just waves at them. She smiles. She wears her green coat like how she normally would. She has her brown gloves. Her outfit's pretty much the same. Don't worry. However, this is where things get kind of weird. When Kakashi asks what Naruto's plans are with this girl, Naruto will just say, oh, she's just a friend. Alright then, so why is your friend coming back to the Hidden Leaf with us? Why can't she? Naruto, you realize that you inviting a girl back to the Leaf Village, what it means, right? Naruto would shake his head and say, no. Naruto, if you do this, you will have to be responsible for her. He nods, saying, okay, what else? She would take your name. She would become an Uzumaki. Naruto, think this through. As Naruto is just be like, I don't see that as a bad thing. Kakashi's just like, I guess that's okay. Gurren would be looking at him like, wait, you would really just be fine with me becoming an Uzumaki like that? Naruto just shrugs his shoulders. He just thinks, he doesn't really have much of his clan left. So, the more the merrier, he smiles. As Gurren would blush, Naruto kinda not knowing what he means, but he, deep down he know what he doing. As, he doesn't realize the implications mean that, yo, bro, for her to take your name means you will now marry her. Well, it is possible for you to maybe have more than one wife since Uzumaki clan does need to be rebuilt. My guy, did you not just meet her? Does that really matter, Kakashi? For most people, yes. Guess I'm not like most people. As Naruto would just smile at Gurren. Gurren would look at Naruto just like, why though? She would blush, but she would go. As she couldn't hide her blush from Naruto. So she had inadvertently used her crystal Gekkei Genkai and created a slight crystal, face mask, face shield, if you will, to hide her embarrassment. Which Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, the other non-shinobi people, their eyes widened. Naruto would laugh nervously as she's saying, oh, right, I forgot, she can make crystals. Kakashi's just looking at Naruto and he's just like, alright, you were actually able to, get a guy who's known to kill people to kill his boss without paying him, and then actually give up some of the money. So, Naruto, we good? We good? You know what? You can have your... What is your name? Gurren. Okay. Gurren is now an Uzumaki. Congratulations. Invite me to the wedding. The what? The wedding. He looks at Gurren. Oh. Well, I guess I can do this. As, Naruto would kiss Gurren on the cheek. Gurren would blush and just like, what the hell are you doing? As Naruto just shrugs. You're just saying it felt natural. Gurren would kind of, hide from Naruto. Kind of like leave. go into the room and just hide in her, bed that happens to be Naruto's bed at the same time. So it got kind of weird when, it's time to go to sleep. Naruto would show up, lift up the blankets, and just wrap his arms around Gurin, who was asleep at the time. So, he cuddles her. She would turn around and reciprocate the cuddle. She's unconscious though, so it's nothing too bad happens. We would wake up to Gurin having her head on Naruto's chest, and Naruto holding her nice and snug. It would wake up with a simple "You bastard." Gurin wouldn't actually be too mad at Naruto because, at this very moment, she enters the mindscape. As the Three-Tails Isibu tells her, this kid, he's kind of strong. He got something. That was a weird-ass fireball. I don't even think I could have, unless I'm at full strength, I don't think I can put out those fireballs. Gurin would look at Isibu wide-eyed as just but you're yes, I'm aware of what I am. I just don't know what that boy is. He just likes you. Roll with it. You never know. Maybe you like him back. Gurin would shake her head no violently. She's saying, there's no way. As, Isabu's just saying, well, maybe he can help you get the other half of me. As he would be the yang side, the good side. Because why not? So yeah, Naruto, Tommy Oliver's reincarnation. The ship is now Gurin, the Three-Tails, Jinchuriki. They will now have to help fight Yagura at one point. For you see, he would want his other halves to return to him soon. Anyway, that's the end of this What If. Good night, everyone. Vibe on.